So some of my favorite ingredients, especially in the summertime, are citrus and mint. And of course, when you have a combination of those two ingredients, it creates these really bright, effervescent, almost mojito types of fragrances. Well, in today's video, I'm going to be going over 10 citrus and mint fragrances for the summertime. These are all awesome fragrances, so I'm excited to share this list with you, so make sure to stay tuned. In today's video and I talk to you about these 10 citrus and mint fragrances, very upbeat and lively and effervescent for the summertime. I do want to start things off by mentioning that if you are a fan of fragrance related content, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Make sure to hit that bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or if you took something of value from today's episode. Now, of course, when we're talking about mojito fragrances, we're talking about lime, mint, sometimes sugar or sugar cane. Not all of these have lime in it. And believe it or not, there's even one fragrance that doesn't have mint in the note breakdown, even though you can explicitly smell mint in it. So all of these fragrances are pretty much in the same family. Some lean a little bit more formal than others, but for the most part, I would say like 8 out of the 10 fragrances in this list are casual. You can wear them all day long, and these are great summer fragrances. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and dive into the list. I'm going to leave appropriate links down below if you're interested in purchasing or sampling any of these fragrances. Now, the first one I want to talk about, I'm definitely going to put it in the number 10 spot because it's a fragrance that I directly worked on with an amazing perfumer, Chris Maurice, who has also made fragrances for Xerjoff and many other high-end niche brands. This one by Navitus Parfum is called Nabus. Now, the name itself is Latin and it translates to energy. And this is a very energetic blend. You do have a little bit of mint in here. The perfumer shared that with me himself. It might not be listed in the note breakdown, but it has this very bright, spicy mint opening with a ton of citrus, very natural smelling, and a dry down of really clean vetiver. Love this fragrance so much. Came out back in 2019. I loved working on this fragrance. One of the first ideas I had for like a summer themed fragrance, and the perfumer executed upon the concept perfectly. The next fragrance that I want to talk about, since we're on the topic of YouTuber fragrances, I want to mention one that was creatively directed by my good friend Chris over at the channel Casual Fragrances, and this one is called Mint Island. So this does have mint. It has a creamy sandalwood in the dry down. The mint is really loud. So if you're looking for something that has an overdose of mint, you'll definitely find it in this fragrance. I believe it's spearmint, and the citrus that's being used in here is yuzu. Of course, you're going to get bergamot, you're going to get a bunch of citrus and Nabus. Here we have specifically yuzu, which adds for a very unique, quirky, tart opening. The next fragrance I want to talk about not only has lemon and bergamot and I believe even lime. This one in the note breakdown does actually say a mojito accord, but in the dry down it also has a touch of rum as well. Very interesting. This one has been since redesigned and put into a different presentation, but this one by Gilan is called Guerlain Homme. And so really awesome fragrance. Mint, bright, effervescent. I have the cap on backwards, I just realized it. But this is a beautiful mojito-based fragrance and one that I've been wearing for a long time. It came out a while ago. The next fragrance by the French brand Véronique Gabai is called Vert Désir. Now this one has a lot of mint in the opening, not as strong as something like a Mint Island, but it does have a nice touch of mint in the opening. It also has some woodsy notes in the dry down and some green notes. So it's kept kind of nebulous, ambiguous, and kind of hazy. Like we don't really know what are those green notes. It smells a little earthy, it smells a little grassy, but you do get that citrus and mint. Citrus is not listed in the note breakdown, but it definitely has a bright, effervescent, citrusy opening. And I'm sure if I looked on the back of the box, it's going to say citrol and citronellol and these naturally occurring compounds that are found in citrus ingredients. There's definitely citrus in this fragrance. Once again, that's Vert Désir by Véronique Gabai. The next fragrance I want to talk about is actually one of the strongest and longer lasting fragrances on this list. And this one by the Dupe brand is called Mint and Vert. Now, this is their version of a discontinued Creed fragrance, or a vaulted Creed fragrance called Selection Vert. And this is definitely a mojito based fragrance. Very bright, very juicy. The mint is very noticeable in this fragrance, and the citrus is very well rounded. So I really like this one, concentrated at 33%. This is an awesome take on the discontinued Creed, of which I do have a decant, and they actually got it very similar to the original, about 95% similar. Of course, I do want to throw in some honorable mentions now that we're kind of at the halfway point. I personally don't own Renaissance by Xerjoff, 1861 Renaissance. That is an amazing citrus and mint fragrance. I still need to purchase that fragrance. And I also don't own You or Someone Like You by Etat Libre d'Orange, although I've done videos including that fragrance in the list. That is an amazing citrus and mint fragrance as well, very bright and lively. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is, I believe, the 1979 version. I went out of my way to buy this on eBay. It is a mini, and this one by Hermes is called Eau d'Orange Vert. And this is the Eau de Cologne version. The more recent release smells just as great. This is obviously an orange-based fragrance, but I definitely pick up on a little bit of mint in here as well. Next time you're at Sephora or wherever they carry this fragrance, definitely try it and you'll see what I'm talking about. And the reason why I included it in this list is because it smells a whole lot like the fragrance in the #1 spot of this list, and that one has a lot of mint in it. So this is an awesome one, Eau d'Orange Vert, Eau de Cologne by Hermes. Great fragrance, and the one that is shown in this video here is the 1979 version. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is an amazing fragrance. I know I mentioned Renaissance by Xerjoff. This is also by Xerjoff. This has Italian lemon and mint in it. Torino 21. Very great summertime fragrance. The citrus is very well done, very natural smelling, and that is something that can be said about a lot of Xerjoff fragrances. Not just this one, but also Uden and also Neo and also Renaissance. All of them have really natural smelling citrus notes. The fragrance in the #3 spot is a citrus and mint fragrance that does tend to go a little bit on the darker side, and that's because it has incense in here in addition to some woodsy ingredients. This one by Parfum de Marly is called Sedley. To my knowledge, the only Marly fragrance that has mint in it, but I love Sedley. Co-created by Olivier Cresp and Hamid Merati Kashani, a very long-lasting citrus fragrance. The fragrance in my #2 spot is a new release, even though I've had it in my collection for a couple weeks. And this one by Nomad Profumo is called Miami. And this is brand new house, brand new release, citrus, mint, incredibly well done, and 100% natural ambergris in the base that is ethically sourced. And so this one has this sort of aquatic, fresh, slightly salty, slightly oceanic vibe to it. Perfect for the summertime. And it just smells really, really good. This is going to be one of my most worn fragrances this summer. I can't wait to wear this one more often. And the fragrance in my #1 spot is a fragrance that I've been talking about for years now. If the message hasn't come across clearly enough, I would definitely encourage you to check this one out. One of my favorites of all time, and the more that I wear it, the more that I learn about it, and the more notes that I pick up from it. This one has a lot of citrus, a lot of mint. This one was actually made by Alberto Morillas, who is one of the most accomplished perfumers, a Firmenich perfumer. And in the dry down, there's this really classy vetiver note that kind of reminds me of fragrances like New York Intense by Nicolai, or even Scandal by Roja Parfum. Really classy, really refined, but that mojito opening is to die for. And this one by Eau d'Italie is called Acqua Decima. One of the best summer fragrances you can buy this year, and it has that innate versatility where, because of that classy vetiver, you can wear it dressed up. Because of that bright and abundant citrus and mint, you can wear it casually as well. Incredibly well done. One of my favorites for a reason. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this list of my 10 favorite citrus and mint fragrances, or 10 citrus and mint fragrances I think you should check out. Some of them I enjoy a little bit more than others, but in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it. Hit that bell icon so you could be notified whenever I do upload future videos to the channel. And of course, give this video a thumbs up if you took something of value from today's episode. Thanks again for watching. Love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.